I'd like to take some time there and let people know that that department has the most employees, 158 in the Elmore County School. And I'm going to tell you, a school bus today costs you about $95,000. And let me add, that's without air. So if you're going to add air to it, you can add another $12,500. So school buses are not cheap. Child nutrition program, you see there what we do, the number of meals we serve. Because again, I wanted to hit on some operational things because everybody knows that we are going to work hard to educate the boys and girls of our school system. But I wanted to tell you something behind the scenes thing, that if these things don't happen, these auxiliary things, then they're going to have a great impact on teaching and learning in our schools. One thing we did unique when I became superintendent, I had a lady come to me and she said, how can we feed these football boys? Because after they get through practicing, and sometimes before they start practicing, they're hungry. So we were able to apply for a grant from the federal government. We got what we call the supper program, the afternoon feeding program. And boy, that really helped us a lot with our athletes and just our other kids who were at school. Then we also start doing it during the summer. And the key thing, what you'll find out about child nutrition, as a lot of people don't know, and I'm going to say lunchroom, that's what we call it, or cafeteria, is that the more you feed, the more money you receive from the federal government. So this is an area where you can also make money. And let me tell you, our state Department of Education has a rule that says that if you have extra child nutrition money, and we go into what we call proration, let me do a little commercial with proration right quick so people will know, because sometimes I mention that word, people don't often know. Proration means simply, when we are promised that the state, when the state does our budget, every school system, they promised me about $60 million from the state of Alabama that I'm going to get as a superintendent, that Elmore County is going to get. But you don't get that check right off, Pastor, okay? You got 12 months, they give you 12 months installments. What that means to us is that if Michael promises me that he's going to give me $25,000 for a whole year, and then he comes back and says, well, people ain't working, people not spending money. Instead of giving you $25,000, I'm going to give you $15,000. But guess what? I've already budgeted $25,000. I've hired the people for $25,000 and everything, and you don't get that money. So it's always important to have a cushion somewhere, because the state says that you can't lay anybody off and you got to pay their salary. So that's why child nutrition is so important to a superintendent, because that can help you make money. So if you run into proration or what have you, you've got some type of cushion, because guess what? The buses are still going to run. The expectations are not going to change. So you got to be ready there. Our service dog program, which I'll hit quickly, we were the first school system in the state to use service dogs to help our boys and girls learn. I did not buy into this at first. I said, I have a dog at home. I think he's the smartest dog that ever walked on 4 legs. So I said, that's not going to work. And I went, they brought a dog in, and the lady was commanding the dog and telling the dog what to do. And I was like, wow, I'm not believing this. And then the dog came over to me. I said, well, why did he come up to me? And she said, because you're stressed and he's trying to calm you down. I said, well, Mr. Matt Phillips now in my office, so I'm not. We are best of friends, aren't we? The last time he came to see me, he brought back up.
Call his name, Jody.
But seriously, you all, these dogs have really helped our boys and girls, especially boys and girls who are mentally challenged. They can come in and get these kids focused, and some of the dogs that our teachers have, they come home with the teachers, they stay with the teachers. And I invite you to just come to some of our schools and see it. It is amazing of the commands and what these dogs can do. There's some academic things there that I'm very proud of. You hear a lot about AP courses now in our schools, and you see the number of kids who've had qualifying scores in Elmore County. We've had close to $10 million in scholarships. I tell you, the scholarships are out there now if your students really want them. So we have counselors and people out there making sure that if our boys and girls are warranted a scholarship or have the criteria for scholarship, we're going to make sure that they get a scholarship when they leave Elmore County schools, because now you have kids, of course as superintendent, I'm making sure that students are what we call college or career ready. So if those kids are going to college, we want to make sure that we have avenues where they can get support if they want support. A lot of times, kids and sometimes parents don't know. So that's one thing that I've tried to push a great deal. I will tell you what I found unique about our school system. Just this year alone, we've had over 150 students to enroll in Elmore County. We're up by 150 students. We have no failures. We're the only county school system in the Tri-County area that does not have any failing schools. We have the highest graduation rate out of the Tri-County schools, and that's because of resources and getting good teachers and letting them do the job. And that's what has helped me as a superintendent. Being an old farm boy, Mr. Dozer, I learned early that my daddy gave me my tractor and he said, go that way. And I said, go that way? He said, yes, and I did that. So you don't put your thumb on people. You give them what they need, you support them, and you turn them loose. And that's one thing that has helped me as a superintendent. We've tried to hire good quality people, give them the resources that they need, and turn them loose and let them work with our boys and girls. And we've had much success. One area that I want to talk about quickly is workforce development. 4 years, and I was one of them. You know, you got some students who are going to say, I'm not going to go to college. I want to go straight to work. Dr. Harrison, how can you help me? What can you do? In my 2 years as superintendent, we have done a lot of revamping in our career and technical education center. The board and I have put a lot of money into those programs because we want to make sure that if our students want to go right into the workforce, that we use this term credential. They have the skill and have met state requirement where they can go right in and be a certified mechanic if they choose to, or if they want to go into tourism and hospitality. We got those programs. We have a culinary arts program now where I love to visit. That's where they cook, okay, you all? I'm going to make sure. All right? And I go there and visit there often. You know, we used to call it home economics, okay? They don't even call it home economics anymore. They either call it culinary arts or family and consumer sciences, okay? Big man. But we know it as home ec, okay? All right? Well, we get to eat and so. But that's something that I have really, really tried to work with our students on to make sure if they're going to go right into the workforce, they're ready. And we've collaborated with different partnerships and what have you. I was amazed, you know, when I got in and started just talking to people in the Tri-County area about mechanics and people needing service mechanics at like Captain Chevrolet and other places. Like, you mean to tell me y'all are getting short of mechanics? They said, well, they're getting old, Andre, and they're retiring. We need mechanics. So I was very pleased to know that that was a good decision to do an automotive technology department at the Career and Technical Center. The arts. If I'm elected as superintendent in Elmore County for the next 4 years, my goal is to work with the arts. I've already begun with putting music in every grade as one of the arts because, again, I have found that I was in music, I was in the band and ran track in high school, but I found that music did something to me because I won't lie to you all, if you were to go back to Calhoun High School and probably pull my file, you probably would see that I had a few office referrals, okay? All right, that's okay. But when I got with my music teacher, there was something that just turned me on to the marching band and the concert band and wanted to perform. I've been an athlete, but just getting in that music, so I saw that we needed to start somewhere. One thing you're going to find about state-funded school, like a county school system, most county school systems, a lot of times the sales tax not like a city school system. So the money that we get from the state is the money that we have, and we have to be creative on how we use our teaching units that we earn to make sure that we find room for the arts, because sometimes you just end up with the four core if you're not strategic in the planning of the teachers that you earn from the state. So, and each school earns teachers based on the number of students they have. So, as you can see, we have a strategic plan in the 4 areas of 5 areas. I'm sorry about strategic plan on the back. Always, student achievement is going to be always my #1 goal. But all those other things that I talked about, if you don't have them, then it's going to impact student achievement. I didn't put 2 things on the list that I want to share with you all quickly that I'm noticing, and it's not just Elmore County. It's throughout the country and the state. Students that need mental health assistance. We're seeing that more and more in our school systems now, where students are coming to us from broken homes and are being challenged in trying to learn, and sometimes wanting to harm themselves. So that's one thing. I've collaborated with the local mental health department to make sure that we get those students help. Also, substance abuse. It's not widespread, but it takes places in private or public schools. So that's something that we have to watch out for as educators and make sure that we provide assistance to these students. And I'm going to tell you, it could be a child as early as elementary making poor decisions all the way up to high school. So I've instituted a process that if you are in the Elmore County schools and you get caught with possession, distribution, or use, you are placed up for expulsion and you come and see the superintendent of education. And it's my decision what I'm going to do with you along with the board. Also, we have implemented the board and a random drug testing policy for athletes and anybody who drives a vehicle on our campus. Now, whether we want to hear this or not, you all, it is out there. Yeah. And we have got to make sure as educators that we deal with it. And other systems around us had already done this. So this was something that I thought we needed to do. Quality leaders, technology of course is always important. Kids love to have their phones. I was at Wetumpka High School one day. I'm like, these 2 students are actually going to walk into me, excuse me, sir. Because the whole time they're like this and walking. I'm like, wow, guys, look up, it's okay. Wonder what they would do, and we're the same way. You know, I use my phone for everything. But just imagine, I tell students and people all the time, take your phone away for a day and see what happens. I told the principal once, I said, you took the kid's phone, and yeah, you had to end up suspending him. I said, what if I take your phone? Would that make you angry too? He said, yes. So I said, now you know how the kid feels. In closing, y'all, budget. I'm going to close on this because a lot of people ask me often, well, what's your monthly expense as a superintendent? For Elmore County Schools, our monthly expenditures are about $6.5 million. That's a lot of money if you were having to pay that much for your house expenditures. But we have to have about $6.5 million. And the state requires us to have 1 month reserve. So that means that I have to have a reserve in case things get bad, $6.5 million. My goal as superintendent to try and have 2 months reserve, and we're close to it. You see, that's some areas of focus of mine. You can reach me by Facebook, the superintendent's website, the Board of Education website. If you have questions, let me tell you, when people want to find me, guess what? They find me. Lions Club, thank you all for having Montgomery Lions Club. Let me say that. Thank you all for having me so much.